Good morning, guys. What's happening? I'm out here in the garage today, actually getting in some garage workout. And in the meantime, I'm also working on the Deathkart. So what just came in the other day is this mass airflow sensor that we needed for L83 motor. This was the part number that PSI had given us with their harness. So I got this, and I was looking at it, and luckily it looks like it is going to work with our MAF, the same bung that we already had on the Solstice. So I think I bought this part online, so it looks like I can just pop out the old MAF, pop in the new one, and we'll probably get a new intake filter, and we'll see if maybe this will still work with our LT motor, if we can bolt that on somehow. So that's what I'm doing today, and maybe later on I might get a chance to come over here and hopefully clean this up with the flap wheel, and I'm gonna get that shot with some paint just to kind of keep it from rusting. And then maybe later in the week, I'll have to start doing all the prep to paint all the firewall, repaint this cage. So all this part of the cage, we're gonna do blue, and then the chassis is gonna be the same silver. And then this whole part here will just be a black. So lots of work to do. We'll see if it's gonna get done. Hopefully it'll be done by the end of the week, and I'll keep you guys updated as I go. All right, so I just came in, did a little bit of prep work, not a whole lot, but just tried to clean up some of the little slag and stuff that was all over here. But I'm just gonna go ahead and hit these up real quick with some black paint. Not taking a whole lot of care, just basically this part of it. And then what I'll have to do later this week is kind of go over everything, kind of sand it down. Not really sanding it, just mostly like a little Scotch-Brite pad, just kind of rough up the surface, spray some paint. There's still some more kind of work I got to do as far as like cutting all this stuff off. So I will have to kind of cut that, smooth it. That's all gonna kind of suck. Same with that battery tray, kind of finish getting all that smooth. But once that's done, Scotch-Brite everything, then I'll go ahead and wax and grease it all with the wax and grease remover just to make sure it's all good. And then I'm gonna stick some spray paint on there and call her good. All right, so probably spent, I don't know, maybe an hour or so today. Same about yesterday, another hour. Just been busy removing a lot of this bracket stuff that used to be here. No longer needed. Like this one was for the radiator support, so pulled it off. I still have to go back and do some grinding just to grind all this completely flat and smooth. But you know, it was a lot of work trying to get that looking clean, looking good. There was about, I don't know, 2,700 little screws that were sticking out of the firewall that we're not using. So went ahead, chopped all those off, make it looking smooth. Then there was some weird kind of brackets right about there. Not sure what they're for because they're not for jacking the car up, but there was also the battery box, so kind of all that's been fully snipped. And that bottom piece, man, that sucker went all the way like on the inside. I had to chop it. So that's all good. Now I just got to smooth it all. And then once I get it all smooth, I'll have to do some thorough cleaning, do some Scotch-Brite pads, scuff everything up, and I'll be starting the painting hopefully later this week. But it's looking a lot better. All right, guys, I'm back out here today in the garage. Gonna put in just maybe 30 minutes or so, maybe an hour, but not a lot to do today. Just gonna do some grinding. So let me show you what I'm gonna be doing. Just gonna clean all this stuff up. You know, it's not smooth, so I'm gonna try to just smooth it out. This isn't a freaking show car, so it doesn't have to be perfect, but just gonna try to get it looking a little bit better. So each of those sides, and then over here where I told you guys I took off the battery box and this other stuff, just gonna try to smooth it, and then maybe I'll get the Air Blaster 2000 and just kind of blast all this stuff off, get out the wax and grease remover, maybe hit all that real quick, and then probably what I'll do is everything where I've grinded, I'll just spray some primer today, just so it's all, you know, kind of safe, keep it from flash rusting, and then we'll see. I only have, what's today, Tuesday, so I only got a couple more days this week, and I'm gonna be going up north this weekend, so don't have a lot of time, so we'll see how far I get. But yeah, if I can get this all kind of done and clean today and just primered, then yeah, maybe tomorrow I can come in and tape all this crap off and get these kind of strut tower things all painted up, and this part painted up silver. And then I think the final, yeah, so I'll probably do silver first, and then the blue on the roll bar, that'll be last. Well, not last, that'll be second. And then final thing will be, I'll tape all that kind of off, and then kind of fully spray this whole bottom part black, because that'll be easier for me to tape off and just kind of spray down. So, you know, we'll paint like this thing black, paint the sway bar so it looks better, the power steering rack, just all that stuff, just to make it look a little nicer. And then once we get the motor in there, you know, we're not gonna have room to do all this crap. So we gotta do it now or never. You know, if we were really awesome and not lazy, we'd probably get some metal and actually weld these holes. I just put some speed tape over them, some heat protection tape last summer, but I don't even think I'm gonna take that off. I think I'm just gonna paint right over that, and then I think I got more of this tape, so I'll put another new layer on top of where I paint it, just so it still looks good, because it's gonna look kind of weird with paint over top of it. But once I put new tape on top, you won't even be able to tell. But that's how we roll. Kind of half-assed over here, but it's worked so far. All right, so we just got her done. Let's have a look. Ooh, a lot smoother than it was. I might go back and hit it with the flap wheel just to smooth her down a little bit, but I don't know. I'm probably too lazy for that, but she looks good. A little bit of cleanup, some scuffing, some paint. It'll look like $1 million. A little elbow grease right here. All right, let's grab the Scotch-Brite. Let's get to town, rubbing this baby down. The Scotch-Brite pad just to scuff it up a little bit, and we just blew it off again. So now I'm going to go ahead and hit it with the wax and grease remover, so this will get it, you know, reasonably clean enough for us. And then if you're wondering what we're going to paint this bad boy with, well, it's nothing but the best. We got here some Rust-Oleum glitter paint. So this was a paint that my wife had used on some project years ago. That would be sweet on the Deathkart. So we went with, of course, kind of silver to match the factory silver, and then blue and then red. So it's sort of that red, white, and blue, red, silver, and blue. So we also thought that, hey, this would be kind of a simple, cheap, you know, way to paint the car and have it look cool. Turns out it was not cheap at all. So with this Rust-Oleum paint, they actually have a problem where the spray heads get clogged because there's so much glitter in these things. So especially this blue color, this was actually sold out last year. I had to order it on Amazon, and it was super expensive, like $12 a can. And we didn't know about that till we got to the blue after we'd already painted all the silver and stuff. So anyway, this year it's back in stock. So you know, it's whatever, $7.50 a can. But I would say we spent at least $300, maybe north of $300 just on all this stupid glitter paint and all these cans of spray paint. So anyway, for all the money we spent on that, we could have gotten some real paint and just sprayed it out of a spray gun. It would have been way easier. But anyway, hopefully down the future, you know, if there's little touch-ups, we can just spray it, re-clear it, and we'd be good to go. Also, if we were smart, we wouldn't have done this glitter paint, which requires us to clear coat, because there's so much freaking flake on it. It's just always coming off until you put clear coat on it to kind of trap it in there. But we should have just went with a base enamel, you know, just a gloss enamel, and then we could have just shot it once, been done with it. Touch-ups would have been even easier. So that's the sacrifice we made to have it look sweet, because you can't tell right now, but out in the sunlight, man, that blue, that silver, the red, I mean, it sparkles. She's real dusty right now, but it looks really cool. So I'm pretty happy with it. I do wish maybe we would have put a little bit more clear on it. I think I did like 2 coats, but it's still not enough. You can still feel it's not smooth because all the flake is so grainy. But anyway, she's good enough. So let's get rolling on this and see how far we can get today. And what separates an amateur spray painter from a pro is this little girl right here. $3. And this will save on your trigger finger. Now I got all the primer sprayed, so you can see kind of how it turned out. You can still see some scratches and stuff, but way better than what we had before. It's gonna look fine once we put the sparkle paint on. It's got a lot of texture, so it fills in a lot of cracks, stuff like that, and it'll be clear coat, so no big deal. But yeah, it looks pretty good. This tape on the outside, I thought for sure it would be so stuck on there I wouldn't be able to get it, but it actually ripped right off. So that's great. Now I can actually kind of paint this, you know, the more correct way. And then once it's all painted, I'll just get some more of that tape and then put it on the outside again, just like how we had it. It'll look nice and clean. That big hole is the only hole we're keeping. That's going to be where the engine harness passes through. So otherwise, like I said, we really should probably weld all those up, but whatever. That'll be a project down the line. maybe the next time the motor comes out for a turbo upgrade or something, we'll do all that. But anyway, cool. So good progress today, and we'll work on it probably some more tomorrow and start shooting some actual paint and tape all this crap off.